Well, I finally took the plunge and I bought a grain mill. I had thought about it over time a couple of little times, but I didn't get really serious about it until I saw two interviews that were recently on YouTube. So, full transparency is I really just got this in my mind to seriously order one in the last few weeks. But I'll tell you about the interviews because they were so good and I recommend people go watch them. The first interview was on Jill Winger's channel, which is called Old Fashioned on Purpose. And she had on a guest named Bob Quinn. And the episode was called Ancient Wheat as Medicine, a conversation with the brilliant Bob Quinn. That was so packed with information and it was so interesting to me. And he is so knowledgeable that I really kind of started thinking, I want a grinder to grind flour and everything. I want a grain mill. And I didn't do anything about it. But the second part of the 1-2 punch, it was these two interviews, really. That was number one. The second part was the interview number two, which was on the Simple Farmhouse Life channel. Lisa has a podcast, but she also broadcasts it on YouTube. And that came on, and she had a guest on her podcast named Sue Becker. And the title of that episode was Why I'm Switching to Whole Grains, the Health Benefits Will Shock You. Well, it did shock me. I was impressed again between Bob Quinn and Sue Becker. They sold me over. The health benefits of grinding your own grains because the nutrients stay in the grains until they're milled. And then once they're milled, things start breaking down over time. So if you're ordering something, even if it's a really good flour from, say, Azure or something, if it's already been put through a grain mill, the nutrients are already breaking down in that. And that's why over time, some of these fresh flours and stuff can maybe go rancid sometimes just because the oils and things start breaking down. But if you leave it in its grain form, it'll keep those nutrients in it. And then if you can grind it at home, like right when you're wanting to use it, grind you some flour to use in your recipe and all, you can have the full benefits of all those nutrients and keep the bran with it and everything and keep it all together, put it straight into your recipe. But what won me over a lot was how they were talking about the health benefits and how it kind of transforms your body by eating these whole grains, especially a lot of the ancient grains and things, and how their children and all rarely have to go to the doctor, how they rarely have to go to the doctor, how they don't have blood pressure issues, they don't have cholesterol issues, and it has just transforms their lives. So that made me want to order a grain meal. So I did. Now, the third part, that was the 1-2 punch, but the third part was also, I had saw on Pecan Grove channel, which is Danny and Wanda. And Wanda had featured the fact that she was trying out a couple of grain mills that she had ordered. And on her episode that day, she featured the grain mills from Nutritional. So I just decided rather than sit there and spend hours and hours researching, I was just going to kind of go with the things she was saying, and they had a link on their channel to where you could get an extra $20 off of one of the Nutrimeal grain meals. And so I decided, well, let me at least go to their website and check it out. Because the thing is, these food meals, I keep calling them food meals, but they're grain meals, but they can be really expensive across the internet or across stores as you go look for them. Some of them can be $600 to $1,000. I didn't want to spend that. No way, no how. So when I did research Nutrimills, I saw that they had 3 options, and all 3 were fairly reasonable comparing them to what I had seen from a lot of other price ranges. And sometimes the price from one meal, but from different outlets, could vary wildly by hundreds of dollars. And it was confusing. So I got on there and I ended up deciding to get their middle of the road grain meal, their middle price one. And it was called the Classic Grain Meal. That's the one I'm featuring in all these pictures and booklets that you're seeing as I go by. They had 3 options on their website. The lowest price was called the Impact Grain Meal, and it was, and it still is, $199. The one I chose, the classic grain meal, was regularly $299, but it was on sale before Christmas, and as of last night, it still was. I don't know if it will be when you get on there, but it was regular $299 on sale for $249. So by using Pecan Grove's code, which was Deep South Homestead, in all caps, make it just one word, I got another $20 off. If you go to their Pecan Grove's video that she had on it and use her link, it'll automatically populate the discount. You don't have to enter that code or anything. It'll automatically just apply it. But anyway, so I got an extra $20 off, so I only paid $229. I thought that was a really good price considering what all I had seen on the internet. Their highest priced one was $429, and it was a stone ground meal. With the one I'm getting has like steel blades and all, and so does the lower price one. The higher price one has actual stones that grind your meal. I didn't go with that one because of the price. I just didn't want to spend that much. But also it works a little slower, and also it didn't have a catch bowl. You would have to put a bowl under the output part to catch your grains coming out. The lower two price ones come with a bowl in it and everything. So I kind of just wanted it all in one package. So that's why I made that decision. But it wasn't just price. You can scroll down and they have a comparison chart, and you can compare everything from capacity on down and make your decision. But I went with the classic grain meal, which was their medium priced. This was the Impact grain meal for $199. This is the classic grain meal that I got, which was $229 using my discounts. And this is the stone ground meal, which was $429. And I believe it said on the website you can actually get this one in different colors.
Oh no, I love that.
Today, my niece and my great niece are going to help me learn how to use this grain meal. We're going to see if we can kind of get some flour made, and I'll make a recipe later with it if all works out. Just go down this list and read me everything.
Okay.
And we're going to learn this as we go.
Okay. Always remove hopper extension ring from flour bowl before milling.
Okay, this is the flour bowl. Take it out. That doesn't, it's got a gasket on it. Makes it hard to kind of open.
Okay.
All right, so this is what they're talking about. This is actually an extra piece that you don't need in this bowl right now. It's actually an extra piece that you would put here.
Okay.
Like you would attach it there if you needed to add more flour than what this would hold.
Got it.
So, and then you put the lid on top.
Okay.
But we're not going to be using this. I don't think. We're not going to be using this. So I'm going to put this in my sink right now.
Okay.
Okay, this is the flour bowl. I haven't washed it yet, and there's a reason. I was looking at my instructions last night, and it said that the first time you use this thing to run some grains through it and let it make flour, and that kind of cleans out all the parts of your grain meal. So what we're going to do is we're going to run some grain through here and test it out with just a little bit of that. I think it said you need to put like 2 to 3 cups of the grain in there and run it through there.
Okay.
So we're going to test that out. Okay, so we removed, I think, what does it say on number 2?
First time use, mill at least 2 cups of wheat or other hard grain, then discard the flour and clean the bowl.
Yeah.
It's going to eliminate
So I haven't washed this yet, and that's the reason. It's because we're fixing to run that through there, and it's just for trash. We're going to throw it away anyway.
Okay.
This little thing, though, what is number 3? Yeah.
Attach separator cup. After milling, empty the separator cup each time.
Yeah, and that line goes to this thing.
Yep.
Okay. So I guess it detaches. I don't know, I haven't tried to get it off yet, but it must detach. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it's on there.
Okay.
And I think they said this little separator cup just catches little small tiny debris that comes through there, but that it's still good to use. Like you can use that debris in your flour.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put this lid back on. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna use this Corazan wheat or grains that I bought from Azure Standard, and we're going to use that and run it through our meal just to make sure that everything's cleaned out. So that it asks you to do that 2 or 3 cups, and we're going to use this. Oh. This is what that wheat looks like, the Corazan. In the guidebook that came with the grain meal, it gave a list of grains that you definitely could use. It gave a list of things you might want to be a little careful on because of moisture and kind of test them. And then it gave a list of things to not run through your meal. Well, Corazan wasn't on any of those lists. And it said at the bottom that if you're wanting to try a grain in your meal that is not on the list, to just do 1/4 cup first and let it make flour out of that 1/4 cup. And then to do a little squeeze test on it. And you pick up some of that flour or debris that comes out, you squeeze it. If it sticks together and holds together, then your grain is too wet to use in this meal because you're not supposed to run anything through there with a lot of oil or moisture in it. So before we actually run the 2 or 3 cups to clean our meal, I'm gonna run just 1/4 cup real quick to just see if it's even a good grain to do that with, because I don't know because Corazan wasn't on the list. I think it's fine because it looks like wheat and all. I think it's fine. But we're gonna run 1/4 cup real quick and just see how that does. Okay, get 1/4 cup of that, Jamie. And let's go over here and take the top off of that food meal. Okay, and just go ahead and pour it down in there. I think that's all we need to do. Just pour it towards where it'll fall down into that little divot area there. Okay, and put the lid back on. All right, Jamie, let's make sure we're ready. What's next? We were at number
4.
Number 4.
Insert air filter on top of bowl lid. Make sure the filter is thoroughly dry before using.
Okay, this is the filter. However, I noticed a while ago when we took this bowl out that it's already got a filter there.
Yeah.
So it's already got one in, so this must be an extra one. So we're just gonna shove that back in there because that's ready to go. What does it say next?
It says twist bowl lid counterclockwise onto top of flour bowl.
Okay, I did that already. You just click it on here and it makes sure it's sealed really good. That keeps it, the lid won't fall off or anything. It's sealed really good.
Okay.
Okay.
Lock on hopper extension ring found packed in the flour bowl.
Okay, that was that ring we took out a while ago. I put it in the sink because we're not using it today.
Okay.
So we're good with that.
So we skip that step?
Yeah, we can skip that step.
Fill with grain and replace hopper lid.
Okay, did that.
Plug in machine and turn on by turning lower knob to the right. Always start the mill on high speed for the top knob.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it around so we can see. My plug is back here. I hope it comes out more than that. Is that all it comes out?
Yeah, it's not very long if that's it.
I thought it came out more than that, like a crock pot.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to move it over here. We're gonna have to move it because the cord doesn't come out very far.
Very small.
What's confusing me is this button, we're supposed to be able to turn it over here
So
to make your
your
opening bigger.
variable texture control now.
Yeah.
Depending on how
But the
fine
minute you
want
turn it on, the whole thing's on.
Yeah.
Is that what we want? So we want it on and on high speed all at the same time?
That's the way I read it.
So I guess it won't go through if it's, until it's open wide enough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it says start on high speed.
So now I hear it going through. I hear it going through now. Just let it run an extra Jamie, you want to open it and let's see what we have?
So open.
Open, yeah, just pull that out. And then you have to twist that lid. It's kind of a little bit hard at the first couple of times you do it. Yeah, keep pulling it. It's got a rubber gasket on it to keep it from... Oh my gosh! We have flour! Woo!
Oh,
That's okay.
My bad.
We have flour puffing everywhere. Look how fantastic that is.
can we touch it?
Oh
Can we touch
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, do the little pinch test. Pinch some in between your fingers.
Okay.
If it holds together like a clump, then it's too wet.
It's not holding together.
That's
too
falling
much.
off your fingers, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's falling off of her fingers. So I think the corzan is going to be okay. If it held together to like a clump that fell back in the bowl, that would be too wet. How does it feel when you're touching it?
It's a little bit like sand at the beach,
Like sand?
but like way finer than sand.
Yeah. I picked some up to see. It's really fine. I think it's fine.
It'll be good.
This is our first time doing it, so we're just kind of learning, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, this is going to go in the garbage because the machine's not technically cleaned out yet.
L for Laney.
An L for Laney. Okay, chunk that in the garbage. Now we know what we're doing. And we're going to get some more of this corzan out of here. And we're going to run about 2.5 cups of that through there just to make sure the machine gets cleaned out really good. And I guess I lied about the extension thing. We will go ahead and put it on because I think if we put 2.5 cups in there, it's going to be too much for that. So let me get the extension. It's got little, let's see. It's got little grooves. Okay, you clamp it down in there.
Okay.
This little measuring cup will go like 2.5 cups. Just go ahead and fill it up.
To clean anything?
No, not right now. We're
Okay.
that's what we're doing. We're actually running all this
we're going to
through.
keep. Oh, because we only did a quart. That's right.
Well, that measuring cup will hold 2.5 cups. So just fill it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're gonna run it through there.
So I need
just pour it in the top. And I guess our settings are okay for corzan because it all went through there and it did great. So we'll have to adjust it maybe for the corn. We'll have to see. Okay, you want to put that lid on till it snaps. Yeah, it's called corzan. It's a type of wheat, I guess.
I don't think it snapped.
Oh, it doesn't snap on that. That's okay. And now we need to put that lid back on the bowl and shove it up under there. Okay, we milled that corzan just to clean out our machine. So now we're on to the big event. Okay, what I wanted to work on today was I'm going to grind some of my field corn that I grew last year. This is a dent corn. It's called Onavino. I got the seeds from Native Seed Search and grew it last year and it grew wonderful. I actually have 2 bags. I have 2 bags of my Onavino corn. I'm not going to grind it all because I want to save some for seeds, and I set aside some already for my neighbors for seeds. But I'm going to grind at least 1 bag of it if it works out good. And then I may grind another partial bag over here. So I don't need a gazillion seeds, I just need some. And I thought I might try to mix in some of this Lancaster Sure Crop field corn that I grew as well. Saving some back for seeds, but grinding some of it to put in some yellow color. The Onavino is more white and the Lancaster is yellow. So I thought it would put like a mixture in there. And then I'm going to make some cornbread with it. Before we grind it, I'm going to pour some into this colander and we're just going to kind of sift it a little bit to make sure any impurities that are in this bag of corn fall out and go to the bottom because it's got some little flecks here and there in it. See, it's got like...
Oh, yeah. Did you grow this corn? Makes it even better.
Shake that around, Jamie. Let's see if stuff comes out of the bottom. Yeah, I see it coming out now. Okay. I just don't want to grind it with all those little flecks up in there and stuff. It's not going to hurt anything if it did, but I just kind of want to feed kernels down in there.
Oh, I get to hit it? Yeah. I was just going to get all this stuff out of here so you can do the next one. Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah,
You want me to do about half speed, or you want me to just kind of get
yeah,
it
I would
started?
slow the speed down. I think it said start it all the way to the left, that top button.
This top button?
Yeah,
All the
it
way to
said
the left?
corn.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, right. You know,
This
I don't
one?
know my lefts and rights. Yeah, turn
So
it
the
on.
motor speed?
Turn the motor speed as slow as it'll go. Yeah, there you go. Start it there, and then we can adjust it. But I'm pretty sure the instructions said if you're using beans, like dried beans, or if you're using corn, to start it on the slowest, or rice as well. So, because it's a high impact thing, and I think you'll burn your motor up if you're trying to go with all that corn too fast. So it said start it slow, and so anyway, and then we've got the bottom part all the way to the right, which is wide open, so that's good.
So feed rate, we'll put this all the way over here.
Yeah, which I think it is, isn't it? Yeah.
You ready?
Yep. When you turn it on, go all the way to the right with it. Rather than keep milling more of this, because on the low speed that you have to use for corn, it does take a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop, and we're going to go ahead and make our cornbread with this, because all I need is a half a cup, and this is plenty here. So we're going to do that real quick and see how this comes out in our cornbread. I'm going to use one of my favorite cornbread recipes. It's from John Foltz. He's a personality here in South Louisiana that is a very good cook, and he has restaurants, food production companies, and everything like that. But this cornbread recipe, if you want to screenshot it, is the one that I use. Now, I split it in half because it makes a huge thing of cornbread, despite what it says at the bottom about using an 8-inch square pan. That is not correct. About half of this will go in an 8-inch pan. If you make the full recipe, it is a huge thing of cornbread. So I'm going to split this in half and get this made, and I'll show you at the end what it looks like. But I'm going to be using my own fresh ground up cornmeal for a change. This is so exciting. Before I bake cornbread, I like to put butter in the bottom of my black iron skillet and put it in the oven that's on like 450 and let that butter start sizzling and melting. You can also use Crisco or something if you want to. And then I pour my batter in, and I like to pour it in a bigger skillet so that my cornbread's kind of thin, because I like as much surface as possible to soak up that butter on the bottom, and it bakes it with crispy edges around the sides, and that's the way I like it. But this cornbread came out delicious, and I was so proud of myself that I grew the corn, milled the corn, and was able to use it in this recipe. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that. I'm very excited about all this. I just wanted to show you the meal I bought. There's probably lots of great meals out there, but I just thought I'd let you know how it went with the one that I bought. And I really enjoyed today. I enjoyed it with my niece, my nephew, and my great niece. We had a wonderful time, and I hope that some of this information might just help you a little bit and kind of show you what it's like to have your own meal. This is Lainey from Hilltop Home Place. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.